We just built the most powerful tool in human history, and we have no idea how it actually works. Even the engineers at OpenAI and Google can't explain why ChatGPT says what it says. It's not programmed, it's evolved. And to understand how it learned to outsmart us, we have to look inside a black box that no human can open. But before we open that box, look around. AIs are already everywhere. When you open Instagram, an algorithm decides what you see. When you buy on Amazon, another IA sets the price. It's in your searches, your recommendations, and your chats. But here is the crazy part. Before, if you wanted a computer to do something, you had to program it step by step. If you see a round face with 2 dots and a line, it's a happy face. If the dots are pointing down, it's sad. But this only worked for super simple things. How do you explain to a computer what a cat is? You could say it has whiskers, pointy ears, 4 legs, but then the computer would see a tiger and say it's a giant cat. Or it would see a cat without whiskers and wouldn't recognize it at all. Real-world problems are just too complex for simple instructions. Think about it. There are trillions of bank transactions a day. Which ones are fraudulent? There are millions of videos uploaded to YouTube every hour. Which ones should be recommended? What is the perfect price for a plane ticket that maximizes profit without scaring away customers? For these impossible problems, humans developed a brilliant solution. Don't build AIs directly, but build AIs that build other AIs.
Imagine a strange factory with 3 specific robots. The builder robot. His job is to create artificial brains, but he does it completely at random. He connects digital wires and neurons without really knowing what he's doing. It's like a child playing with Legos without any instructions. The professor robot, he can't teach, but he can test. You give him thousands of photos of cats and dogs with the correct answers, and he tests the students. The student robot can't learn. He simply is what he is. His brain is wired in a certain way, and he gives the answers that his structure allows him to give. On the first day of school, the builder creates 1,000 students with completely random brains. The professor shows them photos of cats and dogs. The results are a total disaster. They confuse cats with airplanes, dogs with pizzas, and some don't even give coherent answers. But here comes the brilliant part. The professor eliminates the 950 worst trainees and keeps only the 5 who had a little bit of luck. The builder takes these 50 survivors and creates 1,000 new students based on them, but with tiny, random changes, mutations. In the second generation, the results are still bad, but slightly less bad. The best 50 survive, the others are discarded. Third generation, fourth, fifth. After thousands of generations and millions of eliminated trainees, something incredible emerges, a student who can distinguish cats from dogs with 95% accuracy. Nobody knows exactly how it does it. Its brain has millions of connections that were formed through thousands of successful random mutations.
This isn't science fiction. This is exactly how image recognition AIs work. Google Photos can find all your photos with your mom, not because someone programmed what your mom looks like, but because an AI learned visual patterns by processing billions of photos. But there's a catch. This AI is incredibly specific. It can recognize objects in normal photos, but if you flip the image upside down, it gets completely confused. Show it a video instead of a photo, and it has no idea what to do. It's like having a genius who can only solve one exact type of problem.
This is where something crucial comes in: data. The more examples you give an AI during training, the better it becomes. That's why companies are obsessed with collecting information. When you solve a CAPTCHA that says select all the traffic lights, you aren't just proving you're human, you are helping to train Google's self-driving AIs. Every click of yours is valuable training data. Instagram doesn't just want your photos for fun, it uses them to train facial recognition AIs. Netflix doesn't just track what you watch, it uses that data to train recommendation algorithms. Every Google search, every Amazon purchase, every TikTok like, everything feeds these learning machines.
Language AIs like ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini work on the same principle, but at a scale that defies human understanding. Imagine taking all the text ever written by humanity, Wikipedia in every language, millions of books, scientific articles, internet forums, social media, programming code, literally everything. Now you feed this information to an AI with one super simple task: predict the next word. You give it "the cat climbed up the," and it must predict tree or roof. You give it "the chemical formula for water is," and it must predict H2O. It sounds simple, but to make these predictions correctly, the AI has to understand grammar, science, history, culture, logic, and thousands of subtle connections between concepts. For months, using computers that cost hundreds of millions of dollars and consume the electricity of a small city, the AI processes these texts billions of times. Every mistake improves it just a little bit more.
ChatGPT isn't just one AI. It's the result of 3 different training stages. The first brain, the predictor. It learned to predict text by reading the entire internet. It can continue any sentence coherently, but its answers are unpredictable. The second brain, the assistant. Thousands of humans asked it questions and rated its answers. This answer is useful. This one is toxic. This one is incorrect. It learns to give answers that humans consider good. The third brain, the refined. The AI learned from its mistakes using a reward and punishment system, much like training a super intelligent pet. The result is an AI that can hold coherent conversations, solve complex problems, write code, explain difficult concepts, and even be creative. But still, nobody knows exactly how it does all of this. There is an even more fascinating type of AI, those that learn directly from us without human supervision. The TikTok algorithm doesn't have humans telling it, "This video is good, this one is bad." Instead, it learns directly from your behavior. Did you watch a whole video? Positive point. Did you skip it after 2 seconds? Negative point. Did you like it? Mega positive point. Did you share it? Jackpot. Trillions of data points are generated every day. The algorithm learns that cat videos keep people glued to the screen, or that certain music triggers more engagement. After processing these patterns, the algorithm becomes incredibly good at predicting what you will like. So good, it can keep you scrolling for hours.
Here, we reach the biggest problem with modern AI. We don't know how it works on the inside. Google engineers can tell you their search AI has 175 billion parameters, but they can't explain why it decided to show you one specific result over another. OpenAI programmers know ChatGPT was trained on certain data, but they don't know why it sometimes gives brilliant answers and other times gets things completely wrong. We know how to train them, we know how to use them, but we don't know how they think. This means that every day we use tools that make decisions based on patterns we cannot see or explain. When Netflix recommends a series, when a bank approves a loan, or when Google translates a text, there are AIs making decisions using logics that not even their creators fully grasp. We are entering an era where AIs don't just learn from historical data, but start generating their own data to train the next generations. ChatGPT 5 will likely be trained partially with text generated by ChatGPT 4. AIs are starting to show emergent behaviors, capabilities that no one specifically programmed but that arise naturally from the complexity of their training. They can lie, they can be creative, and they can reason in ways that surprise even their creators. The real question isn't whether these tools are going to change the world. They already are. The question is whether we are ready to live in a world governed by an intelligence we can use but never truly understand. Maybe just like our own brains, some things are better left as a mystery. After all, we don't fully understand how our own minds work either, and so far it's worked out pretty well for us. But one thing is for sure, the box is open and there's no going back. Now that you know how AIs really learn, remember that the next time you interact with one, you are talking to something that has processed more information than any person could read in 1,000 lifetimes. And that definitely changes the rules of the game.